Okay. Questions for Andy?
Andy, get your thoughts on the game today?
Well, I thought it was a decent match. Both of us were probably a bit, I don't know, cautious of the movement. A little bit. Obviously, it was raining fairly heavily before we went out, but I mean, both of us wanted to try and play. So I think after the initial 5-6 games, I thought it was a few good points and was hitting the ball well.
It's been a bit of a rocky start to your grassroots season. Do you still feel you're quite well prepared for Wimbledon?
In what respect?
Queens last week, and at the Boodles, you lost both the exhibition matches. So you feel that I don't know. How are you? Basically, how are your preparations for Wimbledon going?
I think they've gone very well. Queens was obviously disappointing. Here, the result is not important at all. So, I mean, I would have liked to have done better at Queens, but after that, I've had a lot of good practice matches over at Wimbledon, and then obviously got a couple of matches here as well. So it's been good. I'll be ready on Monday.
Andy, a big day for you being named in the Team GB. What does that mean to you?
Well, yeah, it's great. Obviously, I was in the last Olympics in Beijing, and I was disappointed with the way I played there. And it made me understand how important the Olympics was to me. So, obviously having it in London this time at Wimbledon, I wanted to perform well, and it was great to get selected.
How do you think it compares though to a Grand Slam?
It's different. I mean, both are big, but it's different. Being part of a team is something that tennis players aren't really that used to. So it changes the emotions a little bit. Obviously, playing for your country as well is also different to playing an individual competition. But I mean, both are huge. Within tennis, a Grand Slam is probably more prestigious, but in sport in general, I think a gold medal is the pinnacle of sport. Everybody knows and understands what a gold medal is and what it means, and it's also something for your country as well.
How do you cope with the high expectations people always have, when Wimbledon comes around, and on top of that, this year, also the Olympics?
Well, it's just part of the job. You need to get used to it, and then also, you put pressure on yourself to perform well and to play well in the big events.
Andy, just a question on Novak Djokovic playing in today. Do you still think him and Rafa are the ones to beat this year at Wimbledon?
Yeah, I mean, today it changed nothing in that respect. He's played very well in the slams the last 2 years, and obviously he's the defending champion, so he's obviously one of the favourites.
Okay, thank you. We're just going to do a couple of questions to this camera for the tournament.
Thank you.
All right, Novak, good to see you back here again, a year on from when you won in your only grass court warm-up match for Wimbledon. How confident are you that the same preparation will lead to the same result?
Well, look, I think the result does not really matter too much here. We came to have some good match practice before Wimbledon. Obviously, playing with Andy this year was great. I think for both of us, and we got to feel the grass court a little bit. And for me, it was even more important because I didn't play any tournament in the opening week of the grass court season. So I'm happy the way that things are going. I feel good on the grass court, and I have a couple more days to get ready.
Do you feel better physically and technically than you were at this time last year going into Wimbledon?
Well, it's really hard to compare. I always like to focus on every year separately. But as I said, I am satisfied with the way I'm feeling. I'm striking the ball really well, and it takes a little bit of time to adjust because clay court is the slowest surface we have in sport. Grass court is the fastest one, and it's totally two different types of moving on the court. So yeah, I think I'll be ready in a couple of days.
And after all your achievements, is it hard to pick yourself up and keep motivating yourself to go again, or is that easy?
Well, look, it's it's my life. I'm in love with the sport and dedicated everything to tennis. And I won Wimbledon last year, became #1 of the world, something that I always dreamed of achieving. And I cannot complain about my results. And I had a fantastic career, but I still feel that there is plenty of years to come, hopefully, and I have a lot of motivation. Obviously, every day I wake up, I want to improve, I want to get better on the court, and I want to win more tournaments.
Novak, obviously yourself and Rafa have dominated the Grand Slam finals over the last year or so. Expect it to be you and Rafa again at Wimbledon this year?
It's hard to predict really, because it's I think, in my opinion, the most prestigious, the most valuable tennis tournament in the world, Wimbledon. It's where all the attention comes, and all the tennis players in the world want to win the Wimbledon trophy. Obviously, Roger is somebody that from all the active players has the most titles here in Wimbledon. And Rafa, myself and Murray, we are top 4, and I think we can be selected for the favorites for this tournament. But there's so many other players like Tsonga, Berdik, who are able to surprise and able to deliver their best game in a big stage, and so it's going to be really interesting 2 weeks, I hope.
And a word on Andy Murray. How do you think his chances are going into Wimbledon?
Well, his chances are always strong. I believe people are maybe media is maybe being a little bit too hard on him for not winning a Grand Slam, but he's a quality player. He's all-round player on all different kind of surfaces, and he's been at the semi-finals of Wimbledon for so many times, so he just needs a little bit of luck and a good day when he plays the big matches.
And have you seen a change in him?
To play at Wimbledon, the Olympic Games as well, this year?
Well, it's going to be very interesting for me to see the colors in Wimbledon, to be honest, because we are all white always. In Olympic Games, we are allowed to wear our national colors, so we're gonna see, I hope, a lot of good tennis, and Wimbledon is the best possible tennis venue to be selected for Olympic Games tennis tournament. And I think most of the tennis players are going to stay here in the houses around Wimbledon, which is more practical for us to arrive to Wimbledon courts. And Olympic Games are happening every 4 years. It's the most recognizable sport event in the history of sport, and we all want to represent our countries in the best possible way.
Novak, what's your favorite Olympic moment?
Well, my personal is when I won the bronze medal 4 years ago in Beijing.
And any other Olympic memories?
Well, of course, I remember our basketball team, ex-Yugoslavia, winning many gold medals, and our country, Serbia, had a lot of success in Olympic Games and World Championships and European Championships in all the team sports. And now we have, I think, made a record of over 120 athletes from Serbia performing at the Olympic Games in London. For us, that's incredible achievement. We're all very proud of it, and hopefully we can bring our country a lot of medals.
So where would winning a gold medal rank amongst the slams as well? How important is it to win the gold medal?
Right at the top. This is probably the most difficult and most important period for all of us tennis players, starting from French Open, obviously being a Grand Slam, then you have a couple of weeks later Wimbledon, and then a couple of weeks later Olympic Games. So we are all aware of the challenge that is in front of us, and I'm always expecting a lot from myself, but I have plenty of inspiration, motivation, and I was getting ready for Wimbledon. Hopefully I can go far and then think about Olympic Games.
How many hours a day have you been able to play on the grass with the weather being?
I've played a lot of tennis on the grass in the last 5 days, and I've caught a lot of sunshine since last Saturday, so it's good, and I got a very good match today, a lot of practice. I'm going to try to play as many points as I can in the next couple of days on the practice, and then I'll start.
In this particular summer, is the Olympic gold more important than a Grand Slam title?
Well, it's I don't like to select one of those two and choose, because Grand Slams are Grand Slams, and they're happening every year. We have 4 most important tennis tournaments in our sport, and then we have Olympic Games, which are every 4 years. So I think it's rare to be a part of Olympic Games. Obviously, you want to represent you're representing your country, where on the Grand Slams you're playing, kind of for yourself, because you're an individual athlete. So it is a different feeling about it, and because you're wearing your colors of your nation, and it's a lot of athletes come to support you, and that was my experience in Beijing 4 years ago.
Okay,
How
last
much
question.
do you want to beat Rafa Nadal this year, Wimbledon, after what happened in Roland Garros?
Look, first I have to win 6 matches to get to the finals and eventual matchup with Rafa, so I can't really talk about it now.
Thanks,
Thank
Novak.
you.
Thank you.
We're gonna